Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Prospect High School's Performing Arts Center. I'm Paul Pinza, and it's my honor to be the principal here at Prospect High School to welcome you to tonight's event. All of us here at Prospect are honored and humbled to host the 2019 State of the District event for the Campbell Union High School District. So we're going to go right ahead and start with our first performers on stage. If you heard them in the gym, they sounded great, so we had to bring them up to kick things off. So please join me in welcoming Director Alex Christensen and the Lee High School Jazz Ensemble.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Kalen Gallagher. I have the honor of being the school board president this year and want to welcome you to our first ever State of the District event. We're going to start with our elected officials. Representing Congresswoman Anna Eshoo, we have Staff Assistant Alex Manberg. We have Santa Clara County Supervisor Susan Ellenberg. We have Cambrian School District President Carol Przunka. We have West Valley Mission Community College District Trustee Randy Kidman. And we have Janet Borson, the Cambrian School District Trustee. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Did I miss any elected officials? All right, great. So there's lots of other VIPs in the room as well. We're going to start with San Jose City College Acting President Roland Montemayor. We have West Valley College Dean of the School of Design, Andrew Chandler. We have West Valley College VP of Student Services, Stephanie Kashima. We have West Valley College EOPS Counselor, Jennifer Kay, who's also alum of the district. We have Santa Clara County Office of Education Chief Business Official, Megan K. Riley. We have Metro Ed Superintendent, Alyssa Lynch. And we have Kim McCarthy, Liz Tanner, and Margarita Ortiz from the Campbell High School Teachers Association. Let's give them a big round of applause. There's other VIPs in the room who will be announced later when Superintendent Bravo comes up, but for now, let me get to our school board. We have our school board in the building today. We have Linda Goitia. We have Christina Arrowsmith. We have Stacy Brown. And we have Robert Verich. And we also have our student board member, Clarabelle Walkup. Let's give them a big round of applause. During the past few years, our board has really been trying to push a different vision for our district and really towards a future where students can, construct their own futures and have more opportunities to develop their passions and launch into adulthood. But I know I really speak for the entire board when it's really not about the board. I know we have the meetings and we're the ones who sometimes show up in the paper, but really, we're only a small piece of the puzzle. The growth, the progress, all the things that Dr. Bravo is going to talk about tonight, like these are really not possible without our teachers, without our support staff, without our student groups, our community partners, our parents. So on behalf of the board, I really just want to say thank you for all that you do. Let's give you a big round of applause. And so without any further ado, I'm going to introduce the man of the hour, Superintendent Dr. Bravo, who's going to share some of our district's achievements and opportunities for the future. Let's give it up for Bob Bravo.
Thank you. Thank you, President Gallagher, and good evening to everybody. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being here tonight to join me in this experiment. I noticed when I came to the district that several of the superintendents of the feeder districts do this kind of event. And I thought, well, this is my third year, and I better get started, or people are going to feel like, hey, where's our state of the district? So you can tell me afterwards if it was worth coming out. I think the snacks in and of themselves were a good enough reason, but you be the judge. So thank you for coming tonight, and some of you have been long-time contributors and supporters to the district, and some of you are newer to the district. Either way, your support is and has been critical. Before I begin, I want to show you a video that was recently created to use for staff recruitment. It includes some of our own CUHSD teachers, students, and parents. So please enjoy the video. We want to make sure that all students, when they're done with high school, that they really have authentic options so that all the doors are still open to them, whether they want to choose college, whether they want to choose some kind of technical education, whether they want to go to work, so that really they have as many options as possible.
We welcome every student from every facet of society, and we have students who have different needs and different backgrounds, and we are a welcoming place for all.
I really like that there's so many people to talk to, and there's a lot of diversity, and you could everyone has like a different story here, and so just learning about everyone is just really fun.
There has been an injection of rigor into the expectations in the last few years that I think is really paying off, and we can see it because we now have, the highest percentage of kids going to college out of high school than we have had probably in a decade.
Special education is students with exceptional needs who need extra support in general education or in a separate classroom. Students who just need a little more help through the academic process. The district has moved towards a co-taught model at each school, and we're trying to give kids the most exposure in a general education classroom. So our goal is to include all students in all activities as well as academically.
The Project Lead the Way program prepare our students, for the 21st century skills in many ways. All of the science, the STEM that our students are learning, the theory, the laws, the formulas, are being incorporated in projects.
My education here at Branham is preparing me for success because it's really teaching me how to apply the concepts I learned in the real world. It's teaching me time management and how to interact with people on an education and more social level.
What we offer teachers really just an environment where they're going to be supported by their peers and by their administrators. I think all of our administrators, all our principals are very much interested in supporting the teachers of their schools, and the community is highly supportive.
I love coming to work every day. I really have thrived as an educator working at this school. I've been here for 15 years, and I've been teaching for 28 the last 15 here, and it's been by far my most happy and positive experience.
I feel like my teachers here at Branham really care about me on more on a level than just education. They ask if I'm having a bad day, or they recognize me more as a person than just as a student. They genuinely care about my success in the classroom outside of it, which inspires me to learn and push myself.
I would say the big piece is the students, to watch them grow, see them grow. The other piece is we do get lots of support from the district to help us grow professionally. I love my job. I love working here, and I've been here 16 years, so that's how much I love my job.
This is the right place for the child. One of them is the curriculum, but also the sense of the community in this district. You will find a group of teachers who really care about your son or daughter education, but also this district means sense of community for the parents and the child.
The mission of the district is to make sure that the students have whatever they need so they can construct their futures. Isn't that a great video? Can we turn the house lights up just a tiny bit, because I want to recognize some of the people who are featured in the video and they're here tonight. Bobby Joe Stewart, are you here? You were here earlier. Oh, she's up there. And Mr. Miguel Paredes, a parent from Del Mar. I think he was here earlier. There he is. And Gina Boulay, she's here. She was the Project Lead the Way teacher. So tonight, I am happy to report that the Campbell Union High School District continues to serve the community with distinction, and the outcomes for students are just getting better. We have more students going to college than ever before. Our college enrollment rate is the highest it's been in years, with 78% of our 2018 graduates enrolling in college this fall. We also have increased college access by working with West Valley College to bring community college courses to all of our comprehensive high schools for the first time this school year. We've also made gains in the percentage of graduates who meet the UC-CSU A to G requirements. Raise your hand if you're familiar with that. I can hardly see you, but okay, a lot of people are. In case you're not, the A to G requirements are the 15 courses that students must complete to be eligible for the University of California and California State University systems. The percentage of our graduates who complete these requirements has been steadily increasing over the last 2 years, moving from 44% to 62%. I'm especially pleased with the increase in A to G completion by our Latinx students. Relative to other Santa Clara County high school and unified districts, our district's results for Latinx students have moved significantly from ranking 11th to place, moving to 5th. And in terms of equity, we also have made gains this last year with our English learner students. Thanks to the hard work of staff, we recently achieved a rate of reclassification to fluent English proficient of 40%, the highest rate in over a decade. We are closing the digital divide by ensuring that students have access to the internet not just at school, but also at home, thanks to the partnership with the 1 Million Project. Our job is not just to prepare students for college, but to also prepare them for careers directly out of high school, if that is the path they choose. Last year, 855 students completed a career pathway, which is a 22% increase from 2016-17, and that number is expected only to grow. These pathways expose students to multiple courses focused on specific careers such as engineering, performing arts, software development, and food services. We now have at least one career pathway at every school site and will have a total of 16 district-wide next year. Not only are our high school programs on the rise, but the Campbell Adult Community Education Program, also known as CASE, is also making an impact in our community by providing educational access and community referral services to approximately 2,500 adult students every year. With the help of our community support, CUHSD passed the $275 million Measure AA facilities bond in 2016. Through rigorous local oversight, we have already completed over a third of planned building projects in just 2 years. We have completed 74 different school facilities projects that improve safety, technology, and modernize buildings. And these projects include the renovation of the Del Mar Music Room, new softball dugouts and scoreboards at all comprehensive school sites, a new lunch area here at Prospect, new barns and landscaping at the Westmont Farm. Our facilities team is also making significant progress on the 2-story classrooms under construction at Lee and Branham High Schools, and progress on the new swimming pools at Westmont, Branham, and Del Mar. Although this isn't an exhaustive list of the district's accomplishments, these highlights give you an idea of how our district has embraced bold goals that have set us on the trajectory to being one of the best school districts in California. I'm particularly excited to share with you tonight the work of the Board of Trustees that resulted in the district's new strategic plan, which will continue to drive our success. And they have set our mission as this: that our schools must be places where students are safe, supported, and valued, where students develop knowledge, skills, and confidence, and where students are engaged, challenged, and prepared. This statement is not dissimilar to the kinds of mission statements you might find in school districts everywhere. But where you can see the hint of a difference that I think makes CUHSD special, is in the inclusion of the word confidence. Our trustees recognize that it is not enough to provide our students with the tools they need to construct their futures. We must also provide students the confidence to use those tools, the confidence to take risks and persist. I'm especially pleased with the process the trustees used to identify the principles that should guide our work. They began by generating a list of the qualities demonstrated by the staff members who are the driving forces on our campuses, staff who are innovators and pioneers paving the way for a better educational system for our students. From this brainstorming, the trustees chose 5 principles they call on all of us to demonstrate. These principles are not aspirational. These principles are in action right now, and we need to nurture them and extend their reach. So the first guiding principle is this, that we focus on equity to provide all students what they need to be successful. And please join me now in recognizing two Branham High School teachers who exemplify this principle, Lily Salinas and Michael Espinosa. And please stand. Where are you? There they are. Now they're standing. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Their work advising the Latino Student Union has provided our students with the sense of community, excuse me, and belonging that's been instrumental to student success. In 2017, Branham's Latino Student Union worked alongside students from across the district to create a Latinx-focused conference at San Jose City College. The event was a huge success with 300 students attending to learn about college, immigration, housing, and leadership skill development. Last year, Lily and Michael organized a summer leadership retreat for LSU students, and the Latino Student Union launched a Para la Raza scholarship for Latinx seniors. Thank you, Lily and Michael, for your dedication and commitment to student success. The second guiding principle is we are accountable for continuous improvement. At this time, I'd like to recognize anyone in the audience who is on staff at Westmont High School. And I appreciate their commitment to improving outcomes for students. Nobody's standing up. There you are. Yep, stand up. There you go. And I think Principal Miller's over there. In 2018, Westmont had the most improved and highest graduation rate in the district. Thank you to Principal Jason Miller and your staff for your drive and focus on continuous improvement for the benefit of our students. The third principle is that we do not give up when things get hard. And I can't think of a better example of this principle than our staff showing students what determination looks like. Please join me in recognizing Prospect High School junior varsity football coach and instructional aide, Mr. Rob Mendez. Who makes me feel old because I was his high school principal. Mr. Mendez defies odds on a daily basis, continues to be an inspiration not only to the CUHSD community, but the nation. Coach Mendez is the subject of the ESPN documentary titled, Who Says I Can't? The documentary has received over 26,000 views on YouTube and showed the world what a great coach and mentor that he is to students. During his first year as Prospect's head JV coach, he led the team to an incredible 8-2 season, and let's give him and his team a round of applause. The fourth guiding principle is to always have high expectations of ourselves and our students. Lee High School teacher Gina Boulay and Team EpiPatch, please stand. I think we have a couple of students who are on Team EpiPatch here. Oh, 4 of them, great. Miss Boulay exemplifies this principle through her commitment to the Project Lead the Way program and its students. Project Lead the Way gives students the opportunity to learn the principles of engineering through hands-on group projects and problem solving. Ms. Boulay expects her students to look for ways to improve the world around them. Her students recently won first place at the Flex Factor Finals for their idea on creating a microneedle patch to provide emergency allergy relief. And they told me earlier this evening that they're still working on bringing the product to market. So that's very exciting. Thank you, Ms. Boulay, for everything you do for students. And the fifth and final of the 5 guiding principles is that we leave our comfort zones to create new possibilities. And we have many teachers who have taken on new challenges this year to better serve our students, but tonight I want to recognize 3. First, I want to recognize Boynton High School teacher Erin Palmer. Miss Palmer, where are you? There she is. She has spearheaded the first careers in education pathway in Santa Clara County. And the education pathway creates a pipeline for students to enter the education field and works to address the teacher shortage that are impacting schools across the state and the nation. Thank you, Ms. Palmer, for leading the effort to bring this new pathway to CUHSD. Next, I want to recognize two teachers who are creating new possibilities for our students through technology. Kyra Durant and Stacy Chase, and if you have any Generation Yes students with you, they can stand too. Hey, where are they? There they are. This year, Del Mar High School implemented the district's first one-to-one Chromebook program, which gave each student a Chromebook to use not only at school, but home as well. This achievement would not have been possible if the school had not already had in place its Generation Yes program. Gen Yes is a student technology leadership program that prepares student technology leaders to provide technology or technical support for their teachers, administrators, IT staff, and peers. It goes beyond the traditional help desk model by harnessing the energy and expertise of students. The Gen Yes team has completed over 1,000 technical assistance projects in the past 2 years. And join me in recognizing the leadership of Del Mar High School teachers, Kyra Durant and Stacy Chase, and the Gen Yes students who worked hundreds of hours over the summer of 2018 to make the one-to-one Chromebook program a success. So I know that this is only a small portion of the great things happening in our schools. So I'd like you to take a moment to turn and talk with a neighbor about an accomplishment that I have not mentioned. Yes, you. Yes, you. So while there is much for us to be proud of, we need to do more to ensure that all members of our community are being served. I have the special opportunity to travel throughout the district to listen to students and teachers, parents and community members through committee meetings, focus groups, information sessions, surveys, thought exchange, and personal conversations. Important themes emerge. For those of you in the audience that are parents, I share your concerns about the need to provide additional academic counseling and mental health supports to our students. You voice a strong interest in knowing more about how your students are performing, and you share significant concerns about the increased use of electronic cigarettes, vaping, and substance abuse. These are important priorities for us. To the staff, you too have raised important priorities for us as a district. I know that maintaining a positive learning environment, which includes appropriate class sizes and student supports, is important to you. The rising cost of living in the Bay Area is incredibly challenging, and I know that we need to raise salaries while continuing to provide the benefits that make us unique. The work you do is difficult, and I appreciate your commitment to our students. To students, many of you have shared that while our schools work well for some, we need to do a better job of ensuring that they work well for all students equally. I'm going to expand a bit on this theme. First, although we have seen progress, our system continues to produce achievement gaps. We need to do more for those students that have historically been underserved. Due to these gaps, CUHSD has been receiving differentiated assistance from the County Office of Education this year. Differentiated assistance affords us the opportunity to take a close look at our results and complete root cause analyses to find out the best ways to improve student outcomes. Closing these achievement gaps will be a challenge for us, but it is important that we equitably provide all students with what they need to be successful. We still have work to do to ensure that all students feel that they are a part of their campus communities. Based on student feedback, we launched the Fairness and Belonging Committee this year, which was comprised of parents, teachers, and students. The committee has met with student focus groups and developed a list of recommendations to improve school climate. These recommendations include anti-bias training for staff, mental health awareness training, additional recruitment efforts for students to join AP and IB classes, and other initiatives we are considering to make our schools a place where students feel safe, supported, and valued. As optimistic as I am about the future, we cannot ignore the fact that we face fiscal challenges. As we look on the horizon, it's becoming more and more evident that we must be prepared for the reality of an economic downturn. California's long-term economic growth is unlikely to be sustained in the next few years. The state is currently in its longest economic expansion in history, but UCLA economists earlier this year predicted that the growth of the nation's gross domestic product will slow from 3% to 1%. There's a high risk of recession in 2020. What comes up must eventually come down, and we have to be prepared for what we may face. Despite boasting the 5th largest economy in the world and the highest gross domestic product of any state, California sits near the bottom nationally in nearly every significant measure of school funding and school staffing. Current state and federal spending have consistently not been enough to support the rising cost of living, and we cannot expect that to change with an uncertain economic future. As a district, we are already facing budgetary obstacles, including increased enrollment, which is the opposite problem of many of our surrounding districts. On one hand, we're pleased that more families are choosing our schools. On the other hand, we are a community-supported district, which means we receive a majority of our funding from property taxes and not from average daily attendance, as most districts in the state are funded. As enrollment increases, we do not receive additional funding to compensate for the additional staff new students will require. Compared to surrounding districts with the same funding structure, we receive the lowest amount of revenue on a per-student basis. For comparison, we receive approximately $13,900 per student per year, while Los Gatos Saratoga receives $17,300 per student per year. Another strain that school districts all over the state are facing is the mandated increases in pension obligations. Newly released state data published by EdSource showed California school districts' expenses for employee pensions on average doubled to over $1,000 per student over the past 4 years. Those increases are expected to rise at least several $100s more per student in the coming years. If not managed with proper care, these items and others that I haven't mentioned have the potential of putting enormous strain on the district's long-term future. For that reason, we are working diligently to maximize our resources while also ensuring that we have the necessary funds to carry us into the future. The Board of Trustees has directed staff to look for ways to increase income, such as leasing underused land at the district office property. Additionally, the trustees are studying the possibility of placing a measure on the ballot in 2020 to provide additional partial tax income. As we move forward, your support and partnership will be critical in assisting us in our efforts to seek the necessary resources to continue providing the quality education that we are known for in the community. And I want to name for you tonight 2 steps you can take after this. You can go right home and do them if you want to. First, I encourage you to go to the California School Boards Association website and educate yourself on the campaign for full and fair funding at the state level. This effort calls on the legislature to fund schools at the national average by 2020 and the average of the top 10 funded states by 2025. Second, I encourage you to give to the CUHSD Education Foundation. In its over 100-year history, the district never had an educational foundation until now. The CUHSD EF is an all-volunteer, nonprofit organization recently founded and run by a dedicated group of parents. And can the officers of the Educational Foundation please stand and be recognized? I know that there's a number of them here. There they are. I'm thankful for the district-wide programs the foundation has made possible, such as the Fall College and Career Fair and the upcoming Spring Career Pathway Expo, which happens to be tomorrow night, April 16th, from 6 to 8 in the Branham Gym. The foundation is currently piloting teacher innovation and empathy grant programs at Case and Boynton, with plans to roll out these grant programs at all schools this fall. The foundation has just begun fundraising, and on their behalf, I'd like to invite you to become a foundation builder by making a donation in support of the grant programs and college and career fairs. Their goal is to raise at least $50,000 to support these programs in the upcoming school year. And please visit their website to learn more, CUHSDEF.org. Through our collective efforts, we can provide the students exactly what they need and deserve to construct their futures. So I'm proud to end the program tonight with a performance by Branham High School's Bliss Club. Bliss stands for Bringing Love in Sound and Song. Bliss is a service club with close to 50 members, and it hosts bi-monthly performances at nursing homes and memory care facilities. Since its inception just 2 years ago, the group has performed for over 230 residents across 12 different senior living facilities. And they are going to be performing the song You Will Be Found from the Broadway musical Dear Evan Hansen.
Ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear, like you could fall, no one would hear?
So let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And oh,
Someone will come running,
and I know they'll take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
you will be found. Dear Evan Hansen, today's gonna be a good day, and here's why. Well, because today you're you, and that's enough.
There's a place where we don't have to feel unknown. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone.
If you only say the word,
From across the silence, your voice is heard. Oh,
someone will come running,
Thank you, Bliss Club. So that is the program for the evening. Thank you for coming. And a special thanks to the gentleman in the booth, Mr. Bob Powell and Kurt Meeker. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good trip home, and tell me afterwards if we should do this again next year or if we can give it a rest. Thanks, and good night.